Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Treasure Coast Connector, connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. Treasure Coast Connector is the talk show and online community where we spotlight interesting local businesses and resources and then connect them to you, the consumers in the community. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do. When we learn about them and support local businesses, it strengthens our local economy. So for information on the show, links to promos, discounts, past interviews, check out www.tcconnector.com. Well, buying a home is so exciting, but navigating the financing can be daunting, and finding the right mortgage professional, well, that can save you a lot of time and money. And joining me in the studio today is Gina Melton, and she is a loan originator with Motto Mortgage in Sebastian. She has helped thousands of people secure their financing, even when they felt they may not qualify. So she's got a lot of great information to share. She's a problem solver. We're so happy to have her here. Welcome to the show, Gina.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, wonderful. So we're going to dive right in. Before we talk about the magic that you do for your clients, the ways in which you help them, what made you want to be a loan originator to begin with?
You know, I was a loan processor for a while prior to becoming a loan originator.
Okay.
And I found that people really weren't getting the information that they needed. And this is the largest purchase of most people's lives, is buying a home.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, in most cases, a 30-year commitment. So I felt that they needed better information and better guidance. So I thought I could help that way.
Well, very good. So then you moved into that position. So basically you were back of house, so to speak, and then you became in the front. Very nice. And you are a people person, that I know about you. So now it's been really interesting, you know, with rising interest rates, okay? We were in the 7s, then we were flirting with the 6s, we're back in the 7s, and people are kind of cooling their heels, but that's not necessarily a good idea, you know? So what are you doing to help people just deal with the interest rates and getting them out of that, I guess, fright, and they're just standing still?
You know, honestly, the way rates have been over the last few years, it's been historically low.
Yes.
We've never seen rates as low as they were in 2020 and 2021. We're back to the normal. This is normal. So don't wait.
Yeah.
Go shopping. As long as you can financially and fiscally afford a new home, whether it's new to you or brand new, then go ahead and do it. You know, you marry the house, you date the rate, because you can always refinance.
I like that. You marry the house, you date the rate. Very good. That's wonderful, because there are people that bought a starter home, they get married, it's the two of them, they're so happy. All of a sudden they have kids, and maybe they have a few more than they anticipated. People have twins. They're like, really? Isn't that much? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, their beautiful starter home is a bit too tight. And now they're like afraid to do something. But yeah, that's like a good reason not to be afraid, because you need, you know, to buy a bigger home. So yeah. So there was something else. Believe it or not, I had a thought, and it just frittered away from me. But even people that are up north or, you know, the Midwest, and they want to come down here, and sometimes they're a little bit afraid to do that, or they're empty nesters, right? So those are some of the situations where you shouldn't be afraid. You know, there's times in your life where things change.
Well, and if you're coming down from up north, isn't it better to shovel sunshine than snow?
Yeah, it's so much lighter. So much lighter.
Very much so.
Yeah, no, that is very, very true. And so now the other thing is that your 30-second elevator pitch, like at Anna Valencia Tillery's lunch and stuff, that resonated with me because, you know, you are a problem solver. And, you know, not everyone has that 20% down payment. They're sitting there thinking, I've never bought a home before, and I don't have tens of thousands of dollars in the bank. And they think that that's what it takes. They're focused on that 20%. What do you have to say about that?
20% isn't the rule of thumb anymore.
Okay, good.
You can get loans with as little as 0% down. You do still need closing costs, or you can get the seller to pay some of those when you negotiate your contract. You've got loan programs such as USDA, Hometown Heroes, which offers down payment assistance.
Yeah.
There's tons of programs out there that require anywhere from 0, 3.5%, 3%, 5%, and still not, you know, you can still get into a home.
Yeah.
And if you take into consideration what the cost of rent is right now, first, last, and security can be $9,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you're dovetailing into something that I really wanted to talk about based on a friend of mine this weekend. You know, my friend is on the west coast of Florida, a little bit north of Naples. And so she has 2 sons, and one of them is in his 20s and trying to navigate finding another rental. And it's not easy. And, you know, and I think about the people that are renting. And yes, they're thinking about that first, last, and security. And rents now are, a modest home could be $3,000 a month. It used to never be that way. It used to never be that drastic for affordable housing, and people are snickering. I can feel it.
Yeah.
As we don't have a studio audience, but if we did, they'd throw tomatoes at me. And so that is something that I think people need to focus on. The renters that are in that position, that perhaps they should not feel afraid to investigate, right? Because
Absolutely.
it's not gonna hurt their credit to check out the I guess viability of buying a home, right?
Absolutely. You, depending on where you're at in the thought process, are you just now pondering it? Then maybe we'll look at your scenario differently than if you were ready to go shopping right now. Because if you sit down with me and you go, Gina, you know, I've had some credit issues. Bad things happen to good people. So you just try to, what were the issues? Let's see how we can fix it.
Okay.
How do we overcome what those issues could be? Yeah. Or if you go, you know, I have stellar credit. I'm ready to go shopping. I got money saved. I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay, well, then let's take a peek. I may hand run numbers before I ever pull your credit. Nice. As far as as long as you're honest with me,
sure,
I can come up with good figures for you. How much is your car payment? What are your minimum payments on the credit cards? Do you have furniture payments? You got student loans? You know, those sorts of things. Sometimes I can hand run those numbers before we even get into pulling credit.
Wow.
So there are ways to fix things.
That's wonderful because, again, circling back to somebody that's paying for a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment, $3,000, $3,500, and if they just investigated, then let's say they bought that home, they were able to buy that home with their mortgage, their taxes, and insurance, it could probably be half or 2/3. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's where I feel that a lot of people are missing out is through fear. They automatically think that they're stuck in that position of renting. And with these rents going up so much, why not research.
As you said, there's nothing affordable about housing right now.
Yeah.
Especially for renters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you've got little people, that makes it even harder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to at least investigate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to jump off that ledge if it doesn't fit for you right then.
Yeah.
But if you deal with a loan originator and you are investigating and their immediate response is, okay, let me pull credit, you might not have picked the right person.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You want to be able to have a conversation before you jump off that ledge.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why you are here today, based on how I've seen you talk at other events. I was like, oh, Gina needs to come on this show, because I really do feel bad for the people on the other side of this camera lens that think that why bother? I'm just going to keep writing that, rental check every month. But it just hurts them to do that. But if they make that phone call, and I'm looking at the time because we can go to a commercial break, but as we're talking, again, I know that there are people that are saying, how do I get a hold of Gina? So for those that are watching, they get a lovely graphic to see all your contact information. But what is your phone number and your email and the web address for Motto?
My phone number is 772-205-8880. My email address is Gina, Gina, Melton, Melton, at Motto, Motto, mortgage.com.
Okay, well, that is wonderful. We're going to take a break, but Gina and I have a lot more to discuss, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite, ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
Is owning a home your goal? With the rising cost of rent, you could be saving a lot of money by owning your own home. At Caliber Home Loans, we can help make home ownership a reality. Meet with us for a free consultation and get on the right path to buy the home of your dreams. For Caliber, home loans is all we do. We use local appraisers and offer a variety of loan options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Call us today, 844-GO-CALIBER, license number CHL15622, CaliberHomeLoansTreasureCoast.com.
Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
ITEX, or International Trade Exchange, is the largest barter company in the world, with over 25,000 members offering goods and services. We're a marketing company that brings you new business in the way of trade, with over 200 local members enjoying the benefits of ITEX, like lawyers, doctors, plumbers, media, printing, and more.
Hi, this is Liz Bowler. Contact me and find out why barter through ITEX has been smarter for over 30 years. 772-532-1881. Visit itex.com.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Gina Melton, and she is a loan originator with Motto Mortgage in Sebastian. And during the break, Cindy, the show producer, had a very good question that I'm just stealing it from Cindy because she's brilliant too. And she had a thought, and this was something that I thought when I first moved down to Florida. One of the things that initially kept me from buying, because I was single, was I have family, handy dad and brother up north, and what if I buy a home and something breaks? So there are people that are renting because they say, I'd rather make a phone call and get the landlord to fix it. But they might be spending a lot more money. So let's talk about that. What do you say to someone that says, "Nah, I'm just gonna stay renting"?
You really want to pay someone else's mortgage for them? Because that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if your mortgage is a little less than your rent, then you can save a little of that on the side for when things do break.
Right.
Everything's going to break at some point in time. Look at your car.
Yeah.
You know, but you plan for that as well. You try to sock a little bit back in case something goes.
Yeah.
Do the same with your house, because chances are good if you're renting a $3,000 house, a month house.
Yeah.
Your mortgage is on something similar is going to be closer to $2,500, $2,500, including taxes and insurance and all of those things. Then you're still saving $500 a month.
Right. Right.
There's other things you can do with that $500. Take $100 of it a month. You've got $1,200 by the end of the year.
And then you don't even really feel it. It doesn't hurt, you know? So that's a great idea. So that's a good answer to the people that say, I'd rather call. Because years ago when rents were not crazy, for some people, renting did make sense depending on their situation. Maybe they were working at a job at a different city. They were only going to be there for a year, and then they were going to go back, you know, to the corporate office or whatever. So renting does make sense in some situations. But so now first-time home buyers, okay?
My favorite.
Yeah, so it's your favorite. Why is it your favorite?
Because I truly get to help those people. They don't have any idea how the process is going to work. And they're just so willing to, in most cases, to help.
Yeah.
To help themselves.
Right. They're like sponges. They're open.
It's like a little person that you start teaching a new language to. When they're young, they just suck it right in. Same with a first-time home buyer. I don't care if they're 22 or 85.
Right.
It's still something you've never done before. And gives me the warm and fuzzies to help those folks.
Oh, well, very good. And then I want to circle back to the hometown hero loan, because I just assumed it was for a very small group of people, just a handful of job titles, if you will. And then all of a sudden I learned that there's like 30 plus different types of jobs. So who qualifies, aside from, we think of the EMTs and the fire and the police, who else qualifies for that type of loan?
Your teachers. Anyone that works for the school district. Heck, the custodians.
Okay.
A little bit of everybody. Your guidance counselors. They all qualify.
CNAs also, I'm thinking of the healthcare.
All of your healthcare professionals. If you actually look at the program, there is about 5 pages of acceptable occupations.
Oh, wow. 5 pages. Oh, okay. So I'm very misinformed. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot to pick from that is, you know, in a lot of instances, if you're in the healthcare profession and you hold a license, you may very well qualify for that program.
Wow. And so now this program, from what I gather, like some people can actually finance their down payment and closing costs, and it's 0% interest, and it gets put into the loan.
Yes, ma'am. The only time it's repaid is when you sell or refinance the house.
Okay.
So if 10 years from now if you got $25,000 today to buy a house, and 10 years from now you've decided you want to downsize, so you've sold your house, the $25,000 that you got 10 years ago, they're going to recoup those funds. That's how they refill the coffers.
Okay. All right. Well, but still, there are a lot of people in those positions that may not even know about this loan program. And they're thinking, maybe they're thinking, okay, great, I don't have to come up with 20%. They're thinking 3.5% down payment with an FHA, but then they don't even have to do that. So they're getting into a home could be a lot less daunting and expensive than they thought.
Absolutely. Keep in mind, though, there are 2 different loan programs, your first mortgage and then the Hometown Heroes as the down payment assistance program.
Okay.
So you would combine the Hometown Heroes with another loan program.
Okay.
Such as FHA or USDA or anything like that.
See, that's why you're sitting in that chair, because I just know how to ask questions. I don't know your world, and that's why I'm so happy you're here. See that? Even, it's very easy to get confused,
Well, I could no more do what you do all day, every day either, Ellen. I can promise you that.
Yeah, and I can't do what Cindy does. She's surrounded by all that tech. She's like,
It's a lot
it's
of
so
tech.
easy. I know. So we have a few minutes left. So what I'd like to know is, what would you like for somebody to know that we haven't touched on? Because you brought a lot of notes. So is there something that you wanted to make sure that we spoke about?
Honestly, the one big thing that I wanted to make sure everyone knows is don't try to pin down what rates are going to do, because honestly, none of us really know until someone presses the button and says, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And as long as you can afford it and it's what you're looking to do and it fits within your lifestyle, then go ahead and make that jump. And if you're scared, make a phone call.
Yeah.
Check. See what's going on. You don't have, we're not going to get married, so we at least get you moving in the right direction. And, maybe that's not what you're looking for. You want a payment at $2,000 a month and you only afford this much house, and that's not what you're looking for. That's okay.
Yeah. But it's actually good to figure out what your budget is. And if you say, well, the house that I have in my mind is, $50,000 more than that, well, at least now you have a goal to work on, and you can do what other people do. They do a side hustle, whatever they can to earn more money to reach that goal. Or if they find out that something is going on with their credit, that's not necessarily the end all. It doesn't have to stop you, but it might be a slight delay. But if you don't investigate, then you can't help them.
Absolutely. So. No one can help you if you don't let us.
Yeah. I just feel that there's just so much going on with the housing world that, a few years ago was exciting and wonderful and low interest rates and yay. But then, rents are being, increased tremendously. And that, to me, I feel bad about. I know that things always go up, but sometimes when it's too drastic, I don't like that so much,
Well, and where do our service workers live?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to, all the seasonal folks want to eat on the beach and enjoy all of our wonderful amenities. But if we don't have folks that can afford a place to live here, then you're not going to have those places either.
Right. No, that is very, very true. So we have 2 minutes left. I can't believe it. I think Cindy makes time go faster. I swear she does. So how do people connect with you directly for those that are listening on iHeartRadio and the podcast?
Call my cell. It's always the best way to reach me. Again, my phone number is 772-205-8880. And if you don't get me, leave a message. I'll call you back, I promise.
Very good. And then so the website, Motto Mortgage, MOTTO, mortgage.com, and then Gina Melton at mottomortgage.com, GINAMELTON. So thank you so much. We didn't solve the world's problems. We didn't drop interest rates. We didn't lower rental payments, but we did give some really great information. And I'm just so happy that you came onto the show. She could put that 1 minute sign down. Thank you truly for coming onto this show. I think that for people watching and listening, even for years to come, are going to find a lot of comfort and hope in what you said, and then give you a call. I know your phone's going to be ringing off the hook. I just know it.
Thank you, Ellen, so much for allowing me to come on the show and be of assistance.
Yeah, absolutely. You're an amazing communicator. You have a great message, and I just needed to give you that platform. And my name is Ellen Contreras. I'm the host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope that everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.